My name is Savannah Rodgers, and I'm in online public speaking, and I'm doing speech 3 concept, and it's over uncertainty. And these are my co-workers, Bruce, Chris, Sam, and Brian, and then Cameron is the cameraman. Alrighty, so once you get to an age where you can make a decision for yourself, you're always going to be uncertain about the decision you're making. Whether the choice is big or small, you're always going to question if you made the right choice. It can be as small as deciding which route to take for work, or as big as which house you're going to be purchasing to live in. And I always second guess myself when I make decisions because I never know if the outcome is going to be what I want it to be. Today I'm going to be speaking about the role uncertainty plays in your educational journey, the life decisions, and the factors that affect uncertainty, and how to overcome it. And so first I'm going to be discussing the educational journey. So first you have to decide if you actually want to go to school. And not all careers require that you have a degree or any type of certification, but it does help. But that's for you to decide, and you never know the outcome of what your life is going to hold, so that's completely up to you. And then once you actually do decide to go, if you decide, then you're going to have to decide which pathway you're going to be going down. And it can be a very worrisome decision because you never know if you're truly going to be happy in the pathway you chose. And there can be a time where a student is about to graduate and then they get to graduation and they doubt that they want to do that anymore. But then they think they've spent all this time and money into the subject and now they're trying to switch. So they have to decide if they want to be in the non-competitive, stable job pathway or if they want to switch to something they're passionate about. As Steve Jobs said, you can't connect the dots looking forward, but only looking backwards. Next, I'm going to discuss the life decisions and uncertainty and how it plays a role. You have to make decisions about your finances, relationship, and your career. Your finances, you have to take into context of the houses, the cars, and all personal items that you're going to be purchasing. And you have to take into context the income you get from your career. You have to wonder if it's going to cover all of that. And sometimes you feel like you're overwhelmed and that you can't cover it, and it can make you uncertain if you're actually doing what you're supposed to do. With your relationships, you're always going to be uncertain if the people you have around are the best people to have. And sometimes they're going to be going at a faster pace than you, and that's fine, but you're going to be uncertain if you're making the decisions correctly so that way you can be going at the same pace as them and going towards the right track. And then you have to decide what you're going to do with your life with your career. And sometimes it can be hard because you have to decide if you're truly going to be happy in what you're doing, and you can make you uncertain. And that you have to think that you have to surround your life around this career because if they ask you to relocate, you have to make the decision to either uproot your family or leave the company altogether. And now I'm going to be discussing the factors that affect uncertainty. Emotions affect your decision making. If you're angry, then it can make you make a rash decision, and then later on down the road, it'll affect how your life is going to be. And it can make you uncertain at how you're feeling and what decisions you're going to be making and if it's the right choice. Anxiety contributes a lot to uncertainty. When you have anxiety, you worry all the time and you rethink and overthink every single possible outcome. And it can make it harder for you to concentrate and make a good decision. Cassette stated, although everyone worries from time to time, when it occurs in the context of general anxiety disorder, it tends to be excessive, difficult to bring under control, and associated with behavioral consequences such as difficulty concentrating and difficulty solving problems. People with anxiety just have a harder time trying to focus altogether and make rash decisions. The risk and outcome of a decision will always affect uncertainty because with risk, you're taking a risk, and your decision, you never know if the true outcome is. An example would be stocks. You're going to be placing a lot of money into stocks, and it's the risk of losing it all or getting even more out of it. The outcome is always going to affect uncertainty because you're never going to do something if it's going to harm you, but you want to know that it'll benefit you, and you'll never know for certain. Next, I'm going to discuss how to ease uncertainty and overcome it. There is no real treatment for uncertainty but to just go with the flow. Practice makes perfect, and in this context, it applies to it. You have to learn that just because you don't make the best decision, it's not going to lead to the end of the world. Brugnock stated, instead of considering uncertainty as something to get rid of or to minimize, it has become accepted as an unavoidable fact of life and definitional to the problem at hand. Sometimes you just have to accept the unknowing and go with the flow in your intuition. In conclusion, there's always going to be a what if in the air, and you just have to go with it. Sometimes it's just going to be harder to make a decision, and you're always going to be uncertain. It's the way life is. challenges. Today I have discussed the role uncertainty plays in education, in your life decisions, the factors that affect uncertainty, and how to overcome uncertainty. Thank you.